Remedy errors and alarms. 296 OM1009082E17. E7060 flex servo, speed limit over the motion speed exceeded its speed. Limits while executing flex servo operation. Investigate cause. E7062 over duty, average, servo current average load factor. Exceeds its limit. Reduce the load or speed, change robot orientation or add delay command. Change the robot orientation so as to minimize load to the motor. Check if the primary input voltage is sufficient. E7063 over duty, peak, servo current exceeds its limit. E7070 torque free, limit over the axis in torque free state went over the limit. Investigate the cause. Or change the settings. E7071 torque free error. It is not possible to change to the torque free state when the robot or an axis is in operation. Unable to change the torque free state while the robot is in operation. Review the timing to change the torque free state. E7072 torque free error. The torque free function is not applicable to gantry and gantry pair. There was an torque free input to either gantry axis or pair axis. Review the settings. E7073 torque free error, harmonize motion. During torque free state, the axis in torque free state got involved in the harmonize motion. Release the axis from the torque free state, and then restart. E7078 the robot cannot enter slave state as there is an axis in torque free state. When there is at least one axis in torque-free state, the slave mode is switched. Release the axis from the torque-free state, and then switch to the slave mode. E7079 torque-free error. The robot is in slave mode. Torque-free switchover is attempted in slave mode. After completing the slave mode operation, switch to the torque-free state. E7100X1. Servo received data error. An error occurred between servo and communication data. If the error occurs frequently, consult Panasonic representatives. E7101X1. Collision detected. Collision is detected. Remove cause of interference. And restart. E7102X1. Collision detect hold limit error. The robot moved over the angle limit in the flex mode after detecting a collision. Find and remove the cause of the collision. E7103X1. Overrun. The hard limit switch input is activated due to overrun. With the overrun release mode, move the axis within the range. E7106X1. Collision hold. Collision or the similar disturbance occurred. Remove cause of interference and restart. E7140X1. Motor speed over speed exceeds rated value. Turn off the power and then newly turn it on. If the error occurs frequently, consult Panasonic representatives. E7141X1. Motor overload error. Motor load exceeds its limit. Reduce the load or speed, change robot orientation or add delay command. Change the robot orientation so as to minimize load to the motor. Check if the primary input voltage is sufficient. E7142X1. Lock detect. Motor cannot rotate. Check if robot or external axis interferes with the motor. Errorcode message. Probable cause. Remedy errors and alarms. OM1009082E17297. E7144X1. Overload movement. High-speed motion was executed in the state of overload. Reduce the load. Reduce speed. Change position. Add a delay command. Change the robot orientation so as to minimize load to the motor. Check for the input voltage shortage on the primary side. E7145X1. Servo power. Low high-speed motion was executed at low servo power voltage. E7162X1. Over duty, average, servo current average load factor exceeds its limit. Reduce the load or speed, change robot orientation or add delay command. Change the robot orientation so as to minimize load to the motor. Check if the primary input voltage is sufficient. E7163X1, over duty, peak, servo current exceeds its limit. E7200X2, servo received data error. An error occurred between servo and communication data. If the error occurs frequently, consult Panasonic representatives. E7201X2, collision detected. Collision is detected. Remove cause of interference. And restart. E7202X2, collision detect hold limit error. The robot moved over the angle limit in the flex mode after detecting a collision. Find and remove the cause of the collision. E7203X2, overrun. The hard limit switch input is activated. Due to overrun. With the overrun release mode, move the axis within the range. E7206X2, collision hold. Collision or the similar disturbance occurred. Remove cause of interference and restart. E7240X2, motor speed over speed exceeds rated value. Turn off the power and then newly turn it on. If the error occurs frequently, consult Panasonic representatives. E7241X2, motor overload error. Motor load exceeds its limit. Reduce the load or speed, change robot orientation or add delay command. Change the robot orientation so as to minimize load to the motor. Check if the primary input voltage is sufficient. E7242X2, lock detect. Motor cannot rotate. Check if robot or external axis interferes with the motor. E7244X2, overload movement. High-speed motion was executed in the state of overload. Reduce the load. Reduce speed. Change position. Add a delay command. Change the robot orientation so as to minimize load to the motor. Check for the input voltage shortage on the primary side. E7245X2, servo power. Low high-speed motion was executed at low servo power voltage. E7262X2, over duty, average, servo current. Average load factor exceeds its limit. Reduce the load or speed, change robot orientation or add delay command. Change the robot orientation so as to minimize load to the motor. Check if the primary input voltage is sufficient. E7263X2, over duty, peak, servo current exceeds its limit. Errorcode message. Probable cause remedy errors and alarms. 298 OM10090882E17. E8000 encoder battery is consumed. The battery in the manipulator. Voltage of the encoder battery inside the manipulator decreased. Contact sales distributor or Panasonic representatives for battery replacement as quickly as possible. E8002. The battery bit error and abnormally data was received from the resolver card. If the error occurs frequently, consult Panasonic representatives. E8003 encoder battery is consumed. Voltage of the encoder battery for each axis decreased. Contact sales distributor or Panasonic representatives for battery replacement as quickly as possible. E9000 system data error. An error in the system data. Turn off the power, and then newly turn it on. E9010 welding card, custom table memory sum check error. An error in the custom table data. Contact sales distributor or Panasonic representatives for redownloading of welding condition table. E9012 TAWERS, rated setting is not correct. Maintenance, select robot type. TAWERS power ratings and software settings do not match. Turn off the power and then newly turn it on. If the error occurs frequently, consult Panasonic representatives. E9013 welding card, initialize response error. Response from TAWERS welding card is abnormal. Wrong version. E9014 AC unit is not connected. Unable to detect the TAWERS AC unit. Control cable is disconnected or broken. Check if the wiring and connection of the AC unit are properly executed. E9016TAWERS, checking status of connection of AC unit timeout. Unable to detect the TAWERS AC unit. No response about connection confirmation. Check if the wiring and connection of the AC unit are properly executed. Review the software version. E9020 confirm the position data. The position data is not properly registered. Use trace operation to check the torque point. E9021 position data is not correct. Wrong position data is registered. Use trace operation to check the torque point. E9022 it failed to get the position data. Registration was cancelled as the position data you are about to register is not correct. Register the position once again. E9030 please set the date, time. Date and time data was erased as power remains off for a long time. Set date and time. E9031 calendar IC read, write error access error to calendar IC. If the error occurs frequently, consult Panasonic representatives. E9032 calendar clock IC error. Failed to enable the calendar IC when the power was turned on. E9033 date, time set error, TP failed to set date and time at power on. E9040 filler if unit, error unable to detect the filler if card. Check connections of card and harness. E9041, torque on, was executed while checking stick. Welding operation was started while executing stick check. Review the program structure. E9042 filler if card, initialize response error. Received abnormal response from the filler if card. Versions do not match. Turn off the power and then newly turn it on. If the error occurs frequently, consult Panasonic representatives. Errorcode message probable cause remedy errors and alarms. OM10090882E17299. 16.3 Welder Errorcodes. Errorcodes start with W, indicates either error occurred in the applied digital communication welding equipment or data communication error between the robot and the applied digital communication welding equipment. Errorcode message probable cause remedy W0000 weld error, P side OV, cur received, P side OV, cur, error from welding machine. Check welding machine. W0010 weld error, no current received, no current detect, MES. Sage from welding machine in the preset period of time after the torch switch was turned on. Investigate why welding current doesn't flow. If gas pressure detector is applied, check if the gas pressure is low. W0020 weld error, no arc received, no arc, error from weld. In machine. Check welding conditions. Check if wire feed route is clear and proper. W0025 no arc detected by robot recognized, no arc, error. Check welding conditions. Check if wire feed route is clear and proper. If the error occurs frequently, check if the current, no arc detection time, setting is adequate. W0030 weld error, wire stick received, wire stick, error from welding machine. Cut off the contacted part of the wire. Change position of teaching points so as to avoid wire stick. Check welding power source. W0031 stick check timeout no return stick check signal from welding power source in specified time. Check welding power source and turn on the power again. W0040 weld error, torch contact received, torch contact, error from welding machine. Remove cause of the error. W0050 weld error, no wire, gas received, no wire, gas, error from welding machine. W0070 weld error, nozzle contact received, nozzle contact, error from welding machine. Check around the torch nozzle and remove cause of the error. W0080 no characteristic table. There is no characteristic table. Welding conditions command cannot be executed or corrected. W0900 Welder.com. Error0003, error occurred at power on, but operation has been continued without correcting the error. Turn off the controller power switch. Check the cables and turn on the power to the welding machine. Then turn on the controller power switch. W0090 weld error, S side OV, cur received, S side OV, cur, error from welding machine. Check welding machine and wire feeder. Check fuses 1 to 3 at the welding power source. W0100 weld error, temper received, temper, error from welding machine. W0110 weld error, P side OV, volt received, P side OV, volt, error from welding machine. W0120 weld error, P side L volt received, P side L volt, error from welding machine. W0130 weld error, trigger switch received, trigger switch, error from welding machine. W0140 weld error, lack of phase received, lack of phase, error from welding machine. Check welding machine. W0150 retry over, no arc has generated within the arc. Retry set value. Check and remove calls and then restart. Errors and alarms. 300 OM1009082E17. W0160 water circuit error received, water circuit error, error from welding machine. Check welding machine. W0170 weld error, cooling water circuit received, cooling water circuit, error from welding machine. W0180 weld error, gas pressure reduction received, gas pressure reduction, error from welding machine. Check gas pressure. W0190 weld error, temper received, temper, error from welding machine. Check welding machine. W0200 weld error, wire feed motor received, wire feed motor, error from welding machine. W0210 weld error, external input 1 received, external input 1-inch error from welding machine. W0220 weld error, external input 2 received, external input 2, error from welding machine. W0230 weld error, emergency stop received, emergency stop, error from welding machine. W0231 weld error, emergency stop 2 received, emergency stop 2, error from welding machine. W0240 weld error, CPU error received, CPU error, error from welding machine. W0250 weld error, memory error received, memory error, error from welding machine. W0260 weld error, wire feed governor received, wire feed governor, error from welding machine. W0270 weld error, wire feed encoder received, wire feed encoder, error from welding machine. W0280 weld error, CT offset received, CT offset, error from welding machine. For GZ, AZ series welders greater than detected the primary side overcurrent error. W0290 weld error, VT offset received, VT offset, error from welding machine. W0300 weld error, start input signal received, start input signal, error from welding machine. W0310 weld error, initial output voltage received, initial output voltage, error from welding machine. W0320 weld error, please replace the tip. One of the tip change conditions is satisfied. Replace the tip with new one. Then reset the value in the tip change dialog box. On the View menu, click Arc Weld Information and Tip Change to display the dialog box. W0370 weld error, electrode contact received, electrode contact, error from welding machine. Check and correct the distance between the electrode and the base metal. W0380 weld error, S side over voltage. Received, S side over voltage, error from welding machine. Specify and correct the cause of the error. W0400 there is not welding condition to load. Load_weld command was attempted without executing save_weld. Review the program structure. W0520 welder is different. The command not for the connected welder or weld method is executed. Modify the program. Errorcode message probable cause remedy errors and alarms. OM10090882E17301. W0530 COM error between units of welder. The communication error between welder and wire feeder is detected. Check welding machine and wire feeder. Check fuses 1 to 3 at the welding power source. W0540 0.00 was specified at the welding speed. The speed set value of the table number specified by arc set command in the welding condition specification settings is 0.00. Set an appropriate value. W0600 the welder for switching not registered. In switching welders by the external input operation, the welder to be switched to has not been registered. Review the settings. W0800 no welder specified by the program. Welder used in the program is not registered in the default welder setting. Check the default welder setting. W0810 the program has no welder number. No registered program number in the program. Register the welder number. Property in file menu. W0860 the different type welding command was executed. Weld type of the executed command disagrees with that of the welder. Match the weld type of the concurrent execution programs. W0900 welder com. Error0001 an error occurred while communicating to welding machine. Press the cancel key to clear the error message. If the error occurred in operation mode, exit from operation mode and newly set to operation mode. Press the cancel key to clear the error message. If the error occurred in operation mode, exit from operation mode and newly set to operation mode. Welder.com. Error0002 communication to welding machine is interrupted or cable is disconnected. Welder.com. Error0003 power to the welding power source is off or cable is disconnected or severed. Turn off the controller power switch. Check cables and turn on the power to the welding power source. Then turn on the controller power switch. Welder.com. Error0004 an error is found while verifying characteristic data. Newly set the welding characteristics. Welder.com. Error0005 power to the welding machine is shut off while communicating with welding machine while communicating to the welding machine. Check welding machine. W0910 welder undefined unauthorized welder has been connected. Check if the applied welding machine is applicable model. Check if upgrading of the software version of the robot is necessary. If so, consult our service office. W0920 welder power failure power to the welding machine is turned off. Check welding machine. W0930 welder.com interrupting welding operation is attempted. Before completion of the communication to the welder, turn on the power to the welder and check the connecting cable for breaking. Then press the cancel key. W0940 received code is different from the set welder. The welder code different from the set welder code is received. Check if the welder settings are correct or if the correct welder is connected. W0950 the welder is busy in initializing. Please restart several seconds later. Robot start operation is attempted while the welder is in initializing process. Restart the robot in a few seconds. Errorcode message probable cause remedy errors and alarms. 302 OM10090882E17. 16.4 Welder errorcodes for TAWERS Welder errorcodes W1000 and higher are for errors of TAWERS series only. Errorcode message probable cause remedy W1010 weld error. No arc, occurred while welding. Check welding conditions and the wire feed path. If no problem with arc is found, revise the no arc detection time. W1020 weld error. Wire stick is detected. Cut off the stuck wire. W1030 weld error. Electrode contact. Short circuit was detected between the electrode and the base metal. Check if circuit between the electrode and base metal is short-circuited. Change the position. W1040 weld error. Electrode stick, the electrode stuck. Recover from the stick state. W1050 long time wire short, abnormal short circuit time was detected. If the error occurs frequently, consult Panasonic representatives. W1110 weld error. S-side overcurrent. Current that exceeds its rated maximum value was applied to the secondary side circuit. Check wirings between torch and base metal and on the secondary side. W1120 weld error. S-side voltage output no detect. No voltage was detected during the preset time period after torch switch on. Check wirings between torch and base metal and on the secondary side. W1130 weld error. S-side output error. Weld current or weld voltage was detected at no welding state. Check wirings on the secondary side. W1140 weld error. Short count error. It detected an abnormal short circuit count. Check the welding conditions. W1170 weld error. S-side short error. Main welding control is not applied in 2 seconds after detecting the current. Probable cause is that the voltage does not rise to the standard voltage. Check wire connection on the secondary side of the welding power source if it is short circuit. W1180 weld error. S-side rating error. The average current exceeds the rated current for more than 3 seconds. Review the welding commands. W1210 weld error, cheeky smiley face, side unit temperature error. It detected a temperature error in the primary side unit. Wait for the temperature to drop. If the error occurs frequently, check the ambient surrounding of the equipment. W1220 weld error. S-side unit temperature error. It detected a temperature error in the secondary side unit. Wait for the temperature to drop. If the error occurs frequently, check the ambient surrounding of the equipment. W1300 weld error. Main power error. Torch on command was attempted before the completion of backup charge of the welding main power after the robot servo power on. Clear the error and restart. W1400 deviation occurred. The deviation conditions preset in the TAWERS weld monitor setting are met. Investigate the cause of derailment and then remove the cause. W1500 wire feeder. Servo power error. Servo power of the wire feeder was in the off state at the start of wire feeding. W1510 wire feeder. Servo power off. No emergency stop was detected, but servo power of the wire feeder went off. Errors and alarms. OM10090882E17303. W1600 wire feeder motor overload error. Heavy load was applied to the wire feeder motor. Check the wire feed path. W1610 wire feeder lock detected. Wire feeder motor locked. Check the wire feed path. W1620 wire feeder resolver communication error. It detected disconnection of resolver signal cable of the wire feeder. If the error occurs frequently, consult Panasonic representatives. W1630 wire feeder resolver cable error. It detected disconnection of resolver signal cable of the wire feeder. W1800 plural characteristics error with PARACALL command. It attempted to execute programs for different welder characteristics at the same time. Check and modify the program settings. W18102 high wire feeding speed. A wire feed speed that exceeds the maximum value preset in the weld condition table is specified. Correct the welding conditions. W1820 welding condition type is different. The welding condition parameters for AMP volt was specified when the WFS volt was selected in Tawers AMP, WFS switching, dialog box, and vice versa. Check and modify the program settings. And correct the welding conditions. W1830 welding table data is abnormal. An error in the weld condition table data. Contact sales distributor or Panasonic representatives for re-downloading of welding condition table. W1840 improper command for the touch start retry. In TAWERS TIG, touch start retry was executed where commands that cannot be used at the same time, such as if arc, jump, call or ret command, are registered on the sensing start point, sensing target point or a point in the arc start sequence. Delete if arc, jump, call or ret command registered on the sensing start point, sensing target point or the arc start point. W1850, arc lock, was executed in the touch start retry. Arc lock operation was executed when TAWERS TIG touch start retry is in progress. Trace back to the sensing start point, and then restart operation. W1860 the different type welding command was executed. Since the weld type was switched by another program, weld type of the command disagrees with that of the welder. Match the weld type of the concurrent execution programs. W1870 the table for the specified weld conditions does not exist. When ZL type command is attempted, the table corresponding to the welding conditions after switching does not exist. Check and modify the settings. W1900 weld error, AC unit temperature error detect. TAWERS AC unit detected a temperature error. Turn off the power and wait until the temperature drops. If the error occurs frequently, consult Panasonic representatives. W1910 pull feeder temperature error. Pull feeder temperature error is detected. Wait until the pull feeder cools down. If the error occurs frequently, check the cooling unit installation condition.